So, as you probably have heard, we have three development opportunities before us, two of which are organically developed, and one having come to us unsolicited outside the community. Yacht maintenance here on Cambridge Creek was recently sold to a local businessman. And I'm going to say recently; it's probably been now 5 years, and he is going to be expanding what he's doing there. In fact, going to be installing an 850-ton travel lift, where he can be bringing in tugboats and the like in here. And so he needs. He's currently leasing 3 acres from the city and needs an additional 2. So he would need 5 acres total to do this expansion, and he would have a series of boat repair houses constructed in this area here. If you're familiar with what is going on right on the other side of the river to us there in Trap,
Yeah.
we will certainly tell you that ours will be more architecturally friendly to what we're trying to accomplish here. But George Robinson is a real community player and community asset, the owner of Yacht Maintenance. So we're real excited to work with him on it because, again, this is keeping with what we want to accomplish on this site, and that is to give you a real feel of a true Cambridge and Dorchester County experience, and we feel that that's going to be important. So one of his buildings will be sort of here, perpendicular to the creek, and just on the other side, we have a letter of interest underway with RER Brewery, which currently is downtown in Cambridge, highly, highly, highly successful. And their end game is to have a facility on the creek. And so we are working with them to see how we can get them down there. They would like to have their production facility and a tap room, as well as restaurant space there. And so the plan is to have them sort of almost parallel to one of the buildings that Yacht Maintenance is putting in, and having these huge barn doors that you can open up and you can actually see in. My daughter was just recently up at Bath Iron Works waiting for her naval ship to be completed, and it's really cool. I mean, there are just people who just sit out there and watch what's going on, and so the feeling is this would be a really neat experience. Having a beer, something to eat, and you're able to look in. So really want to create a really neat experience for people. So those two are what we consider organic type opportunities, and we feel what better message to the outside development world when two locals have made a commitment to the site and so forth. So one of the key cost elements of everything we're doing here is infrastructure, and the infrastructure estimates right now are $8 to $10 million. One would normally go to the city and county, say, okay, here's where you need to bond for the infrastructure, and maybe have some sort of a special taxing district or whatever to essentially pay for the debt service. The city and county, like most local municipalities under the pandemic right now, are not in a position to do that. But there are going to be federal funds available. There are already federal funds available now, but there'll be more, one would expect, given what the new administration wants to do. And a lot of those federal fundings are tied to job creation, and that's permanent job creation. The hospital, getting access to the hospital site is probably going to still be a year to 2 years out, given the decommissioning and the demolition. So the Peregrine is still hanging around, and he wants his day in court, so to speak, day in court. So I don't think he's going anywhere. But this is a little bit out there yet. This is a 2+ year endeavor, whereas we know George is ready to go. And I'm sorry, I say George Robinson, who's the owner of Yacht Maintenance, and RER. I think, like I said, this is their end game. But if you know them, they are always looking for the next opportunity. So if they're not focused on the waterfront right now, they're doing something else. So we would like to get in their queue, so to speak, so that when we are ready, they're not doing something else. Because we believe, RER has significant name recognition, and we believe if there is a formal announcement of a commitment to coming on the creek like this, we will likely generate interest from restaurants and perhaps even hospitality. we just believe that that is going to parlay, and then maybe some other retail opportunities. So we do believe that this is an area we need to jump on soon. So getting the transfer of the property from the city to CWDI on the port side as soon as possible is right now our number one priority.
Yeah.
And just to show you, this is again very preliminary. I mean, this is just showing you here is the expansion of yacht maintenance with the three buildings that he's talking about. This would be the observation area. Here is the RER facility. Here would be retail and perhaps hotel, boutique hotel on the upper levels. And then the concept would be a plaza in between here. And if you've ever seen the Spanish Steps in Rome, the idea that there would be these steps coming from the second floor of the restaurant, second floor down, and this could be an observation area for watching a performance on the plaza. So there's some really unique design elements here that we can incorporate, and then a transient marina here, and still be able to accommodate cruise ships along the wharf. And then this is where the travel lift, that 850-ton travel lift, would come in to service the different vessels that's going on. So this right now is our focus.
I see.
And of course, this is the hospital property. And this we think will be, certainly these will be the phase 2 and 3. This here is our focus, phase 1 now, of course. And so that's where we are. We have had numerous conversations with master developers. And unfortunately, none of them, all of them love the site, but all of them has said, based on your demographics, we're not comfortable enough to come down on the Eastern Shore into Cambridge to do anything. So we then knew that CWDI needed to play sort of the master developer role. And we believe in the long run, that's better. One, we protect our DMZ line for the public access. 2, we control the development. 3, it's not going to sit idle because somebody outside the community has decided the timing's not right, so we're just going to sit on Cambridge for the next 5-10 years, and next thing you know, we're looking at it without any control. What I often hear, and sometimes maybe people say, well, why the heck is Frank Narr still at it 28 years later? He didn't get it done, and we have